Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar,
I tell you we must die. No. We're going to have a good day. We're going to find that whiskey bar. We're going to have a lot of fun. And it's, by the way, Friday's Eve. That's right. It's a Thirsty Thursday. It's ladies' night. Everything feels so right. And yes, we are already past the new year. Yes, do you know that July 1st was yesterday? We are 6 months in this bad boy. First half was rough. We're praying the second half is going to be better. And COVID-19, we're going to find a few things out because I'm so blessed. Lauren Pasquale, she's going to join us from Denver, Colorado. She is with Fastaff Solutions, and they know everything, and they have solutions. They can help y'all. And if you go to fastaff.com, and if you listen to me, that's fast or fastaff.com. It's all a play on words. Like it's got fast, AFF, and then it's got staff, and before that, FA. You'll see what I'm saying, but it's fastaff.com. Check it out if you have any questions. But Lauren's going to join me, and make sure you keep the questions because I'm going to ask her. Don't worry. I know you got high school, MLB, NBA bubble. Is there a chance that the National Football League is canceled or if it plays on? Keep on coming at me. 67129. Now, I'm also going to ask also the questions that are mean, like, please don't tell me I'm an ignoramus because I would never wear a mask. Sir, I wasn't trying to say you're an ignoramus. I'm trying to say that it feels like somebody who texted me earlier, this is tyranny. Tyranny? Have you read the definition of tyranny? Tyranny and wearing a mask? Son, I just don't understand how you can sit there and say, we are about to celebrate the 4th of July and independence. And I am so dead gum happy that we're going to do this. But I want you during the 4th of July to realize that if you want college football, if you want baseball and the NBA and pro basketball, in this country right now with a global pandemic, and they don't shut down countries for nothing or close schools for nothing, maybe you should do your part. And tyranny, sir, that is cruel and oppressive government rule. A nation under cruel and oppressive government rule. Cruel, unreasonable, or arbitrary use of control. I'm sorry, just being asked to be thoughtful and you consider thoughtfulness as tyranny? Look, I'm for liberty, individualism, and freedoms. Don't get me wrong, but freedoms come with responsibility. Lauren, I sure hope to heck you agree with me.
Hi, Johnny. Which part? I agree that I work for Fastaff Travel Nursing, and our website is fastaff.com. Which part should I
was
agree
just saying, I hope that you agree with the fact that, we do love liberties, but liberty does come with responsibilities. We're part of a nation, we're part of a community, and we have to be kind to each other if we actually want to make this thing work.
I do agree with that. And I work with so many really brave healthcare professionals who have been running into this fire. As you said, I work for Fastaff Travel Nursing. We've had thousands of nurses all over the country since February fighting COVID. And they tell me,
fighting,
I asked them,
by the way, fighting.
That's right. We're not done yet. It's still going. And those nurses tell me, and I've heard from others, wearing the mask in public is the best way to keep others safe as well as yourself. And you know what? For me, Johnny, it's not that big an inconvenience. I'm not going out all that much. I put the mask on. I come home. I wash my hands. I'm trying to follow those protocols, not just for me, but I want this thing over. I want my friends who lost jobs to get back to work.
Me too.
if we can help, I want to be a part of that.
Oh gosh, you know what? I couldn't have said it any better. Lauren, thank you so much for joining me. But I have a lot of questions, and I know that there are a lot of parents who are excited to talk to somebody who actually knows what they're talking about, and they're concerned about their young people. Here in the state of Tennessee, they've moved back certain things. They can only have 10 people participate in practice.
Hmm.
When it
Hmm.
comes, you have to be outside. I think and I'm not a doctor, but I think that being outside and having few people, is that not helpful?
I'm not a doctor either, but we've certainly heard a lot of support that if you are outside, there's less of a risk of the spread of the contagion than if you are inside. So, I would never tell a parent what to do with their kid or what level of
Correct.
risk they're willing to take on, but we've seen plenty of reports that say being outside is less risky than being inside. So I guess you would apply that to what sport they're playing and how many people they're interacting with.
Now,
If they
being
could come home and take a shower at home instead of going
in,
into a crowded locker
yes.
room, I think that's a no-brainer,
That
right?
is a no-brainer. And by the way, being vice president of marketing over at Fastaff Travel Nursing, I do agree. I understand you're not the nurse, but you deal with so many nurses. You see them, you move them,
Correct.
you
Yep.
care about each one of them the way you talk. Like when I was talking with you, like these people, you know that they're about to go onto those front lines. You
Mhm.
care about them and you hear about what they have to say when they come back. I do want to
Mhm.
ask you because again, it is a sports show, and we talked a little bit about this. When you look at the MLB situation, when you look about how you see Arizona is such a hot spot, as you see
Mhm.
Florida such a hot spot, or the NBA, but at least the NBA is going on in a bubble. Well, while the MLB is going to be moving and going to different ballparks, and the NBA is going to be in a bubble, but they're going to be in a bubble right now, which is like what the fourth hottest spot in the or fifth hottest spot in the world right now.
Mhm.
What would you feel more comfortable? Would you feel more comfortable as an NBA family member or a Major League Baseball player saying goodbye to your husband for 66 days as he goes on this regular season whirlwind tour?
Well, that is a tough question. Where would I feel more comfortable? I would feel more comfortable if I understood the crisis management plans.
Ooh, good
So,
point.
so yeah. So, what are the contingent plans? And with fast staff travel nursing, we're always staffing nurses in crisis, whether it's hurricane, flood, flu. We did Ebola. We're doing COVID. So we have every contingency planned. I would want to know if I were the wife of one of those players. How are you keeping the players safe? Are you doing temperature checks? Are you doing COVID testing? How often do you do it? Does my husband have his own room or is he sharing a room with someone? Do they eat in restaurants or is all the food brought into a cafeteria and they really truly don't leave the bubble? The next thing I would want to know, and this is something that I feel like some of the sports are really well prepared for this, is if you do get a positive test, because you and I both know, Johnny, this thing is everywhere. There's really,
Hmm.
no way to know in many cases. If you do get a positive test, if somebody tests positive, how quickly do you react? And do you quarantine that person, that staff member, the trainer, the coach, the player, the person in the cafeteria? How quickly do you react to
And
do
what
the
is the
contract
word I'm
tracing?
looking for? Thank you, contract tracing, and how fast
Contact tracing. Contact.
it's something that I never thought of. It's like almost something that you would
Hmm.
see in a movie. We got to do a little contact tracing. No, but like that is something that I found that is so important. And I'm
Hmm.
not going to get too personal, but I had a friend who had a wedding, and next thing you
Hmm.
know, a couple people came down with it. They did the contact tracing. The three people who ended up, well, the first person who had it notified. Next thing you know, it was three people. Then they found, luckily, only five people actually had it. They
Hmm.
quarantined nine, and it was a very, very lucky thing. But they did contact tracing, like literally in 24 hours, they were in touch with everybody. And that's kind of got to be something that your staff, are y'all like, do you do part of that? Like, because I know you do the temperature. I know that you're
Hmm.
talking, and I know that you basically have everybody and their grandmother out there working. I was just wondering, is contract tracing part of fast staff?
It's not, Johnny. So what we do as the nurses at these golf events is the nurses are there to take the to take the temperatures of all the
And
participants.
then
So
give
that
the
would be
COVID test, of course. Yeah.
exactly. And if they find an elevated temperature, then there are protocols for what happens immediately. So every single person that enters these golf environments, whether it's players, caddies, grounds crew, they're all getting a temperature check. Now, we know that that's not the only way to test for COVID, but it's the first way.
It
So
is.
before they even drive their car into the parking lot and park, that's one of the first things they do. And our nurses, typically our nurses are going into hospital situations. We have them
Mm-hmm.
all over the country, certainly now more in Arizona and Texas, like you and I were talking about some of the spikes. But what they do is they go into these environments and they learn the symptoms. They know how to recognize it. They know exactly how to react quickly. So they're very capable. They're very well skilled to go into any environment, whether it is high school baseball or, a professional golf tournament that's being televised. They know what they're doing. They're very skilled. They really are heroes.
Now, they are heroes because they are going on. And by the way, the golf has seemed to go. I know that you have to feel good about Fastaff. The way golf has gone, it's been absolutely positive. MLB is just getting started. The bubble
Hmm.
thing and NBA is getting ready to get. So you really don't have a whole lot of information. But golf has been great. The other things is working with businesses. I didn't even think about this, but I just had a
Hmm.
text right here. A guy just said, so if I went to faststaff.com and it's fast AFF or it's FA staff. So it's FASTAFF.com. It's a play on words. It's fast
Correct.
staff. You'll figure out when you see it, but it's FASTAFF.com. You are also not just doing you do businesses as well, correct?
Not yet, but we could. So
Oh,
we could,
interesting.
yeah. We see this as an alternate demand channel, is what we call it
Well,
internally, as
how many
other
nurses do you
companies.
have right now?
Let me just tell you, well, we have hundreds of thousands in our database, and the reason that they're so impressive is that these are travel nurses. So they're
Yep.
not nurses who work in the local communities and have a job, 30 years in the same place. They go to where there's something on fire. They go
That's what
rush
was
into where they're most
fascinating talking
desperately
about
needed.
you. They're
And
the
and in terms of businesses, in terms of the businesses, if a corporation needs to open and needs nurses to do it safely, we go there too.
now. Can I ask you again? And I feel so bad because I was talking over you. I apologize. But they're like the war correspondent journalist, or they're the firefighter in your local neighborhood. They're the police officer. They're the EMT and paramedic. They are always running towards to where it's danger, and there's so many people. Yes, you know that the nurses that are working in the emergency room, they're dealing with all kinds of stuff. But some people think of the nurses at the little clinic, or you think of the nurses at the old unfortunately, what is it when you're passing? Golly, I feel horrible.
In the hospice.
Hospice, thank you. Gosh, I love you, Lauren. So you think of that. No, these nurses are like action. They're on the go. They travel and they go to the hot spot. And that's the other thing about Fast Staff that I just think is so awesome. So faststaff.com, but it's FASTAFF.com. And again, I'm talking with Lauren Pascal. No, it's three syllables. Say it.
Pasquale.
Pasquale. See, I can
That's
hear it,
right.
but I could,
Perfect.
Lauren Pasquale. Now she's in Denver,
Mhm.
Colorado. By the way, I can't wait to come to Denver and meet you someday.
Mhm.
Um, but as we talk about the NBA bubble, MLB, I
Mhm.
gotta move one quick thing over, and that's to with your nurses and
Mhm.
how they run to basic danger. Do you see them very soon running down to Florida to the bubble, or do you see them running to Philadelphia or Arizona or one of these Major League Baseball teams who are Texas Rangers? You know what I'm saying? Do you see that? Do you see them like right now, like maybe heading to one of these things to latch on and trying to help?
We would absolutely do it. Johnny, it is a dangerous time. We don't know what's going to happen. I hope the NBA opens that bubble in Orlando, and I hope they don't have a single case, and I hope everybody's safe and healthy. But it
Amen.
seems like with this COVID, that does not seem to be the way it happens. So We know it's a dangerous environment. You can't stay away from it entirely. What you can do is put those contingency plans in place, put that crisis management in place. And if Adam Silver called us tomorrow and said, we need nurses down here pronto, we'd have them there in 24 hours, 48 hours, and the nurses would put their hands up and be happy to do it. So I hope that everything goes well, but given the opportunity, we'll be there.
And I know the same with Roger Goodell. If he called you, or Mark Emmert with the NCAA, you'd be there in two shakes of a lamb's tail. But the other thing I have to ask you right now, as a honest, just a person, and again, I know that you basically are the vice president of marketing over there. I want to know, with all the nurses that you've talked to, and you see these people as literal heroes, and you know what they go and risk and what they do, would you want to risk? You know it's 11 on 11. You know those tight quarters. You know what a football, and you know how many hundreds of thousand people are in that arena. Do you think the NCAA has an opportunity realistically to get football off the ground this year?
I know you want me to answer this as a person, but it's such a tough thing to answer, Johnny. If I were the quarterback of Auburn and I was in my fifth year after a redshirt freshman, you bet that I would want to be on that field playing this game. You bet. So it really depends on the person. I think the best thing that we can hope for right now is that the vaccination comes through, and that's, every day I'm hoping we get better news on vaccination. So if you asked me if I was the quarterback of Auburn, my answer would be yes.
Miss Lauren Pasquale, I love you. You are so kind.
Thank you for having me, Johnny. Thanks for talking about our nurses. We're so proud of them. We love talking about them. I appreciate you recognizing
heroes.
them.
They are heroes. And you've done such a great job. But I also want, again, one more time, it's FAST, that's FAST, AFF, or it's Fastaff.com. So it's FAST, FASTAFF.com. It's very simple. It's a play on words. If you can't figure it out, you're as dumb as I am.
I'm just so glad you're saying it, because if any nurses out there want to come on one of these travel assignments, they could go to that website, sign right up, and we'll be in touch with them.
Oh, thank you, Lauren. Hey, by the way, I hope you stay safe, be blessed, and I know Adam Silver, Roger Goodell, and Mark Emmert will probably be in touch very soon, okay?
Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it. Good talking to you.
Thank you. What a pleasure. She's such a kind person. And again, we did talk off the air about a few things I know she wasn't comfortable talking about, but I will say again, folks, I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to say it's from anybody. Just please, it's not tyranny to wear your mask, to wash your damn hands, and try your best to social distance. Please. I want baseball, I want basketball, I want football, and I also want fewer and fewer people to get sick and to die. I would love to look like an idiot when this is over and nobody else dies from this and we have a vaccine tomorrow. But please, 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 until that happens and you can make fun of me, just try your best to be respectful. And don't you dare touch that dial, because we're going to come up. I got Harden Wood. One more segment before then. I got Isaac Simpson, Musa Cisse information. We got National Football League, NBA news. We got all kinds of stuff coming up. So if I were you, don't think about it. Don't look at it. But remember one thing, MemphisFarmers.com, my friend Chad Gatlin, Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM, and 87.7 FM, and 87.7